Hey, Frenchie, don't give us a thumb down, bro. Hey, Frenchie, Cannon, Frenchie somewhere right now. I didn't even know Cannon was a lawyer. Sandra Bland, my ship, Cannon was a lawyer. Representatory. Boy, love you, Shep. Love you, boy. Love you, but he be busy. He be grinding, man.
Yeah, that's great. And see, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, you look at so many of the people that we went to school with, and man, it makes you stick your chest out. You know, we were down there, and I don't know about you, but when we were down there, I was thinking half of us were knuckleheads. You know, but you look at what we've gone on to do, and things that really people are making their mark. You know, they're making their mark. You know,
no doubt, no doubt.
And there's some things that, like, some of you cats that I would never bring up, if these walls could talk, how we say, and I just say that to say that y'all see this guy, he's all packaged up and he's an attorney, and I'm not going to do anything for his reputation. But, kind of like JB, I mean, these guys, what I want the young men to know is that, I mean, what is a goofy? What is a nerd? What is that anyway? Leave your gavel at home. But I'm just saying that you don't have to be a lame to be professionally successful, to be book smart, right?
Yes. You don't have to be a lame.
And I can tell you that for
everything,
fact.
everything is in reach. Everything is in reach. I mean, that's the thing. So, I'm pretty active in guide write for the Maywood Wheaton chapter. And, and I'll tell you, the thing that I love about that chapter is that they're very aggressive about making it clear to young Black kids that the sky really is the limit. Like when we say it, it's real, it's attainable. And, I've heard this said many times, what they see is what they'll be. And it's really about making sure that people can touch you. You put your britches on just like somebody else does, anybody else does. And so you can't let your nose pop up in the air, and you got to be present, and you have to be attainable. You got to be. You owe it to people because you didn't do it on your own. And that's how I feel about it. I mean, and
period.
Mom and Dad wouldn't let me think any other way anyway. That's just the way it is.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, who are or were your mentor? And does anyone currently consider you as a mentor to your knowledge?
So I was so blessed, so blessed. Another two noops actually. Larry Rogers Jr. when I first started practicing. I didn't even. I saw another brother in the courtroom, and there were very few of us. And I was talking to him, hi, how you doing, whatever it is, and I was trying to find a way to start getting work and all of that. I'm talking to this man, and he's talking to me just like he, you and me, and I'm telling him, boy, the hardest thing in the world for me to do is find a way to get work. 2 weeks later, I get a case from him.
Wow.
A week later, I get another case from him.
Wow.
I don't know who this man is. He just saw somebody who was trying to do something, and he was going to help him. Period.
Wow.
Period. Likewise, so and he's been a mentor ever since. He's a guy that when.
But do you think he knew you were a brother, and that's the only reason he did it?
No. We didn't know anything about each other. We didn't know each other, and found out he was a noob maybe about a month after I had met him.
Do y'all hear that, people? Do y'all hear that? We don't have to be crabs in the barrel.
Right.
All money ain't bad money, and all money ain't good money, and
period.
And sometimes you can simply help people, like the way this man who's been on national TV shows has come back and decided to do the show with me and Self Love, and we're building our platform. I mean, this is the way, in my formula, humility is a big part to freedom.
It is. No doubt.
And I've gotten that benefit in so many ways. I can't even tell you. Then, when I started working for Johnnie Cochran's office.
I used to work in the building with him. I used to see him all the time.
Yeah. And that brother, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is the truth. I have never seen a more brilliant lawyer in my life.
He was like touched by Satan. I don't want to say Satan, but he had everything though. Like he could speak, he could debate. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you how and why I say it. This is the thing. I remember I had a press conference I was gonna do. And that's the other thing. Like this man, in spite of being who he was, I was working for him and he let me do the presser.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wanted people to win.
Yes.
So that's, so I'm walking with him down the hall, and I'm talking to him. I'm briefing him on the case. And as I'm talking to him, he starts to talk to me. And, I've never seen this, but I could see this man thinking, and his mouth could not keep up with his brain.
Wow.
It was the weirdest thing. Like, I could see he couldn't tell me what he was trying to tell me fast enough. He wasn't rushed. He just was so.
That's how active his mind was.
And on top of it, he was at the top of his game in the civil work. He did civil work and he did criminal work. And just to kind of put that in context, be a world-renowned brain surgeon and also be a world-renowned heart surgeon
right.
At the same time.
And I think, didn't he do like prosecute? Wow. I know he did criminal defense and civil. Like he did like everything and all of it well.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, like
now the funny part
I know he did, but I was saying but I don't know if he was doing prosecutorial. I don't know if he said anything about that.
Oh no, well, I don't think he did. I don't think it was with the criminal the
prosecutor's office. Okay.
I'm not aware of that being the case.
Okay.
He was. I just don't know that.
Right.
But I'll tell you, what was funny was when I was working with him, he was, he had an office here in Chicago. And when I was working with him, this was after the OJ case.
Okay.
So he is the most well-known lawyer in the entire country. All right. Yeah. Before him, there was a guy by the name of F. Lee Bailey, but now it's Johnnie Cochran.
Everybody was on his staff at the OJ case.
That's right.
Right.
So everybody knows Johnnie Cochran, and everybody understands Johnnie Cochran to be at the top of his game, right?
Yeah.
And at his office, I came to a realization that helped me in my own trajectory. And it was, I looked at the client base that we had, and it was virtually all black. It was all black. And I said, you can be the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike our community that gets pilfered by other groups of people, you can be an Irish lawyer and find black client base. You can be, you can be a Jewish lawyer and find black client base. You can be Italian, find black client base. Johnnie Cochran could not break through that racial barrier. And I ironically, so I've done some advertising over the years.
Right.
And I was spending about $50,000 a month for about 7, 8 years. Now, when you put an advertisement out on Channel 5, Channel 7, Channel 9, ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever,
right,
everybody sees it. Whether or not you're black or white or Asian or Hispanic, right, everybody sees it, right? 99% of the client base, black. That tells me two things, and it's taught me two things. One, never take for granted my own community and always be grateful to my own community.
Man,
and know that I owe my own community. Know that. And number two, understand and appreciate Chicago is still as segregated as they come.
Man.
Because there's no way you can't explain that. You can't justify that other than to acknowledge the fact that we have some racial divides that we still need to work on.
Those are
okay. So we got a question from Cortez. Says, what is the most important legal decision in America in today's time impacting Black America?
Wow. So that's a tough question for this reason. I don't know that we are, and I don't believe that we are monolithic. And so I think that there's a multitude of issues that affect the Black community in different ways. So if I'm a Black owner of McDonald's, the major issues will be different to me than if I'm a single mother and I am on WIC. What I would say though, in an overarching fashion, the one thing that I do think that is a big deal is the assault on voting rights and the ability that that local governments have to gerrymander, to draw lines that don't make sense, right, to create voting blocks so that representation.
Moving the bar, just keep moving the bar.
Man.
Yeah, I'm playing basketball. I'm learning how to dunk, and you just keep raising the rim.
Right.
You know, you just keep raising the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a great question. There was some other ones in there, Tori, that came through. If you want to hit those right quick, was one like right before that, I think.
Just said Yoda, Larry Goodnoop. Oh, there it is. Cannon, what do you believe is the power of our vote?
And that's from who was that?
Charlie Newman.
Yeah. So voting, we know it's powerful because people in our ancestry decided they were willing to die to make sure we could do it.
Right.
So you'll probably get this. I believe I owe my family. I believe I owe my community. I believe I owe my ancestral heritage.
You sound like Pookie in New Jack City. But go ahead.
No, I mean it. I mean it. Because
I'm just saying that reminded me of Pookie.
Yeah, and when I think of people that say to themselves, "I'm not going to vote," or "voting doesn't matter," it feels like there's a lack of an understanding of what people literally did so that you could have that as a right. Think of it like this. If somebody told you you had to get off the sidewalk for some white woman walking down the street, would you do it or would you protest? You would protest that. It's something you've taken for granted all your life, but somebody gave that to you. That didn't exist for my stepfather when he grew up in the South. If he didn't get off that sidewalk, he got his head beat in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he got his head beat in. So what that means to me is that generationally, I was given a certain gift that I now may take for granted, but it was gift nonetheless. Voting is that same way. The reason that voting is so powerful is because we literally can command groups of people to do what is in our best interest if we do so collectively. If we vote collectively, we can demand of people that they do things that we want and need them to do. When we talk about we want to see better schools looks a certain way. It means give everybody a computer, right? Make sure that everybody has Wi-Fi in their house. These are things that we can demand. We can right? And it all comes through voting. If politicians who are understanding of the fact that they are beholden to their constituency don't fear you, don't believe that you'll vote them out, phooey, they don't care about you. They don't care about you.
Have you thought about going into politics yourself?
So no way.
No. See, I agree with you with politics, but I got to get the right guys, man. If guys are talking like you,
politicians that I believe are politicians, I think that they're public servants. I think there's a big difference.
Yes.
And there are public servants out there. There really are. But I think the distinction has to be appreciated, and I support public servants. I really do. I know that the things that I've wanted to try and accomplish in my life and in my worldview, public service is probably best suited for me in the capacity that I engage. I'm able to sort of try and fight the fight in a legal sense. I'm not really a policymaker per se.
Yeah.
I want to, I'm impatient. And public service requires patience.
Well, question, because now you mentioned the brother, you said Charles Jones was his name, helped you get business early in your career. Larry Rogers. So Larry Rogers. Now, have you implemented that? Have you paid that forward? Have you thrown a couple cases to any young African Americans in the spirit of what he did for you?
Absolutely. I do it all the time. And Mike,
reciprocity,
the biggest blessing,
yes.
At the end of the day, if at the end of my career, I can look back and somehow find a way to be able to say that there were 5 Black lawyers that after they dealt with me were able to branch out and open their own shops and give our community more opportunities or more options.
Representation. Yeah.
More options.
Yeah.
And I've done my job.
Yeah.
I've done my job, and I've given back. I try and give back anyway, but that's something. See, because here's the thing. I don't want you to come to me because I'm a Black lawyer.
Absolutely.
I mean, you deserve more than that.
Absolutely.
Thomas is Black as they come.
Period.
Huh?
Said period.
Yeah, some people are in blackface. Yeah, they were born in blackface. Some people were just born in blackface. Yeah.
They got this skin, but not the
but
mentality.
I will tell you that like I take what I do personally because I see it to be bigger than, Tori and I, we did some work together. And the adjuster that I dealt with on his case was the type of adjuster that if somebody wasn't willing to do certain things and go beyond, the outcome would have been different. I'm telling you that.
No doubt.
I'm telling you that. Okay. I know.
If somebody was a lot less sophisticated than Tori, enough to get an attorney who was a lot less sophisticated than you, it could have gone a whole different way dealing with that major company that I'm not going to mention their name.
And Tori was willing to go to bat. Tori was willing to go forward, right? And so many times, because we don't necessarily know how things go, and because we've not had to deal with the law and all that, we don't know.
Yeah.
So somebody will tell us something, and then there'll be certain folks that won't have your best interest at heart, and then things don't go the way they should.
Or you need money so bad that you just take something that's just not even.
Mills, man, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And you have lawyers that are comfortable with that and okay with that. They're slash and burners. That happens a lot, bro.
When I talked to Cannon, it was like, I trust him already, so I already knew what I was going through, and he gave me all the options, and said what he think I should do.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting on my box of cigars for the referral fee, although I didn't refer them. Hey,
but there's a lot of, but that's the thing. I mean, there are a lot of us as lawyers, a lot of us as doctors, a lot of us in business that have the ability to deliver quality services. And I think if I can find a way to grow in a place where I can give people opportunities like I got it, then I'll find myself proud of myself. Right? I still got a long way to go. Got a lot of things to do.
You should already be proud of yourself, but I hear you always keep achieving. You mentioned God, but is there an afterlife?
Oh, I definitely think so. I believe very much in God. I know God exists because I wouldn't be where I am. I've seen things, and things have actually happened to me in real time. Thoughts have been put into my head at the moment where I needed them, that I didn't come up with them, but they were divinely placed. And so look, I'm not supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, except for, right? I mean, there's, we're not supposed to be where we're supposed to be. Man. You're not 24, what you 48, 49?
Man.
And that means you've outlived your life expectancy, huh?
I'm probably like 9 lives, and I was
gonna say doubled it at least for
they tell us you come from Chicago, we're supposed to be laid down somewhere. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Half of this life where we are right now, succeeding and growing.
Any spiritual advice, quotes, or words of wisdom that your family may have passed down? Little tidbits.
Yeah, a ton of them. I'll bore the hell out of you.
Any couple of them you can think of.
Number one, first and foremost, is just remember you know better than anybody else. No better. Remember that. But you're no worse than anybody else. Remember that. Remember, right? And at the end of the day, and I'm a lot better with this now than I ever was when I was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you're not in a position to judge anybody.
Nope.
You don't know the people's circumstances. You don't know where they're coming from.
Man.
So for you to judge people is to do yourself and them a big disservice. And I was guilty of that. I'm embarrassed about how judgmental I was back in when I was younger, and back when I met you all. I mean, I was judgmental as hell.
But you think a lot of that might have been because of your environment when you were raised around?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think it's some, look, my imperfections are real. I have real warts, and I just think that those were big, huge, those were boils that I had to kind of deal with. And I've been fortunate because I've had people come through my life and in and out of my life in ways that have helped me to kind of recalibrate some of the things that I used to think. But
you hear that's great, Tori. You know what I mean?
Growth, man.
Yeah.
Growing is what we're here to do.
More growth and development. And I was going to ask, we're lining up something, and we may need some pro bono with growth and development. Yes, and we're adding more growth and development, and we got activists. We're lining up activists. We're about to be out here doing stuff. So if something ever comes up, we're gonna be calling you and get your pro bono team together to help out.
I'm in your pocket.